Hey, it's Al Bain for Leather, and we're going to talk about threading the Cobra Class 20 sewing machine. All right, basically it's a flatbed sewing machine, and what we're going to do is put the cone on the stand and thread from the front toward the back. Okay, and then we're going to go through this little thread guide right here. Okay, so this guide has a bunch of little holes in it. It's got 6 holes in it, and depending on how much tension you want to put on in the preload, you can either go straight through, over and under, which is going to apply medium tension, or you can wrap around and create more tension. You can see how it's going to cause more friction. For my setup, I'm basically just go up and over. If you seem to be developing way too much tension, you could skip a hole or two. But for me right now with this configuration, it seems to work to just in and out, in and out, and out. Okay, so here's the front of the thread tension system. Let me put a little light on there, see if that helps a little bit. So I'm just going to go through this first hole. The thing with a lot of these machines is the castings start out being the same thing, and this one being a single needle is set up as a single needle, but it can be set up as a double needle so that there's extra holes and fittings to accommodate the double needle nature of the machine. So that's what these little guys are all about. So here's another little pre-tension right here. We're going to go in between these 2 tension discs, and we're going to do exactly like we do with the class 4, is we're going to pull the thread all the way to the axle. And normally we'd say hear it click, but this machine doesn't have enough tension right there. There's not a spring, but all it's doing is just slowing down the thread as it comes toward the machine. So here we have 2 little posts here before this other spring tension device. Okay, so I'm going to go under the one, between the 2 discs, and make it click, and then over the second. So under, around, and over. Okay, now it's a regular spring, take-up spring. So we've got to go between the 2 discs on the side. And what you're going to do is, see this little hole there? We're going to pull the thread up, and it's going to get jammed past that little thing. So I'm going to put a lot of tension with my fingers above. Can you see that right there? I'm holding that thread while I'm pulling up, and this piece of the thread is going to get past that little thing. It's going to click, and now it's on the opposite side of that little plate, and it's behind that little spring. So if you pull up on it, it's actuating that spring. I'm going to go through this thread guide either through the side of it or just load the thread up, but it goes in through a little doorway right there. Just push it over there through the side and then back out through the take-up lever. Okay. Now we're going to go back in that same little gate in there and take out all the slack, make sure everything's still cool. Now this little device, it's got another little gate and a little spring tension device just like the class 4 does. So we're going to go in the side, then lift it up and put it underneath there. Okay, so now the needle bar has a little guide right there, so go through there. Okay, make sure nothing's twisted around, and then load the needle from the operator's left. Bear with me while I struggle. Operator's left. Maybe if I trim my thread, what do you think? Think this is the first time anyone's had a hard time threading a needle? There we go. Okay, once you get it through the needle, you got to make sure you thread it through the presser foot and out back toward 1 o'clock. Okay, doing the bobbin, it's a vertical bobbin, so open the gate. Make sure that the bobbin is paying out in a counterclockwise direction, and then drop it right in the top. Okay, there's a little groove right here. See where my thumb is? There's a little groove and a little slot. So what you got to do is put a little pressure on it so the bobbin doesn't spin and waste a bunch of thread, and then get that thread to drop into that little groove and beyond this little triangle shaped piece right here. Now that it's out here, you're going to pull the thread toward 11 o'clock, and just a little bit of tension is going to drop the thread underneath the leaf spring, which is providing the bobbin tension. Okay, snap the spring shut, hold your needle thread, and cycle the machine. One full revolution. Up comes your needle or your bobbin thread. Pull the thread out. Close the little door. And load your needle thread and your bobbin thread back toward 1 o'clock. I hope this is helpful. I hope you've seen something fun here. This is Albane for Leather, with our good buddy Nikki Payne playing videographer. Please remember to pay it forward. Thank you.